or remarks before I start today? You'll find on the class website the next homework assignment posted, assignment number 7. That's due a week from today. And that assignment, all it is an exercise in using phrase structure rules to parse sentences. So there are 2 questions. The first question gives you 3 sentences and asks you to show me how those sentences are put together according to the rules that we've learned. Okay? So an answer for each of those sentences is just a parse, a tree representing how all the words fit together into phrases. Okay? The second question gives you one sentence, a rather long sentence, and asks you how many different ways can this sentence be put together using the rules we've learned. We'll see today that it's possible for one string of words to hide inside it a whole bunch of different sentences depending on how those words are grouped. And so this question is testing your ability to see how that works. Okay? So you'll see when you look at that second question, I give you one sentence, one string of words, and I tell you there are 5 different ways of putting it together. I want all 5 of those. And then I want you to tell me, for each one of those 5, how they differ. This is an assignment like some of those I've warned you about in the past, where you might want to find a friend that you don't want to keep for very long to work with. Okay? So this would be a good time for you to reach out and find a partner on this. Yeah? There's a lot of work in this assignment. Due a week from today. Any questions? So today, all we're going to do is parse. All we're going to do are use these rules to show how words fit together into sentences. And in doing that, we'll get some practice, we'll get our hands on this process, and we'll see something about the tricks of the trade, as it were. So we'll start with this practice sentence. I can't tell any longer what's visible from the back of the room because I can't see farther than 2 feet in front of me. Those 2, actually. So, ma'am, in the corner, way back in the corner, can you read this for me? Was that no, I can't? Is that what you said? Also, I should tell you about my ears. I can't hear a damn thing. So, could you scream at me what this sentence says? A sassy intern. This is coughed. You can't see that. How about these 2? So it's a little hard to see. Is that what I should learn from this? So I should write a little bigger. Okay, well this will be our first practice sentence today. A sassy intern coughed on Sam. All I want to know is how do these rules say these words fit up into phrases, those phrases fit up into larger ones, all of that fitting into one sentence. So let's start. Always what we do when we start is we figure out what parts of speech each of the words we're looking at belongs to. So what is what part of speech? This is an audience participation sort of class. What about sassy? Actually, sassy is an adjective, and a sassy one at that. What about intern? Yep. Coughed? Indeed. On? That's a preposition. And Sam? A noun too. Okay? Do you have those phrase structure rules handy in front of you? If not, you can look at these. These aren't all of them, but there are enough of them to do the sentences we'll look at today. And if you look at this rule right here, these rules tell you what n bars can look like. And one of the ways they can look is they can have just a noun in them. And if you look at all of these rules and all the other ones I've given you, and you look at what's on that side of the arrow, you'll see the only place a noun is found is right here. What this means is that every single noun sits alone inside a noun bar, an n bar. So whenever you see a noun, you can do this. Okay? Nouns are always just n bars, 2. All right, good. Now what should I do? Ma'am?
You could group a sassy intern into a noun phrase.
Okay, so you want me to take all of this and make it a noun phrase. And how should I do that?
Softly line.
Okay, like this.
Yeah.
Now, this says that a noun phrase can be a determiner followed by an adjective, here sassy, followed by an n bar, here intern. But that's not what this says. This says an n bar is an NP is always an n bar, and if there's something else, it's a determiner right before the n bar. Okay? So yes, this whole thing is an NP, but no, not this way. What way? Well, this NP is one of those that starts with a determiner.
Yeah, so then I suppose you have to group the adjective and the noun together, which would make it another animal?
Yeah. Got that? So that's how that NP fits together. All right? Okay. So 2 kinds of generalizations we see in this example. Nouns are always by themselves in n bars. NPs always have n bars on their right side, and if they have anything else, it's a determiner on their left side. Just 2 things, nothing more. And everything else in an n bar, in an NP, is inside this n bar. Okay, good. Now what should I do? Go to hell isn't the right answer. Do I have to, should I pick on some? Who looks, sir, you have a little flower on your black shirt, which makes me think you must be very courageous. What do I do now? I need to put these together. This is going to be a verb phrase. This sentence is made up of, like all sentences, a verb phrase preceded by something. And in this instance, the something is the noun phrase we just finished parsing. So I need to put these 3 things together inside a verb phrase. How should I do that?
Find the preposition and bar.
Like this. Okay, now, what this says is that n bars can be things that start with prepositions and end with other n bars. Well, here are all the things n bars can be. And none of them look like that. Crap! No. So that is impossible. Oh, there's something I missed here, which is where are prepositions found? That's where. Prepositions, the only place they're ever in are prepositional phrases. So if you see a preposition, you know you're looking at a prepositional phrase. And this tells us that a prepositional phrase, the thing with a preposition, is followed by a noun phrase. So there must be a noun phrase here. But there's only one word here. So that noun phrase must consist of just an n bar that has just this word, this noun, Sam, in it. Do you see how I did that? Are we okay with this? Okay. Ma'am?
Could you make a verb phrase and a prepositional phrase
Instead? Well, I haven't done it. Yeah, what?
Put the begin to a verb phrase and then connect the verb phrase to a prepositional phrase and then connect, instead of connecting it to the noun, and then connect the noun after.
Well, I'm fine with this business, but I don't know I can't follow what you're telling me to do after that. So,
like that works, but can you do it the other way?
What's the other way?
Connecting the verb phrase and the prepositional phrase.
But I am doing that here.
I mean, before you connect the noun
Oh, you mean, so leave this out of this thing? Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do with these things. I am your slave.
Okay, so the verb phrase, the verb is a verb phrase,
Like this.
and the preposition is a prepositional phrase,
Like this.
and you connect those two.
Like this. This would be a verb phrase then, right? This is fine. Okay, all of this is possible. Now tell me, what should I do?
Can you connect the verb phrase and the noun phrase?
No, that I can't do. So if a noun phrase follows a verb, the only way they fit together is this way. The noun phrase comes right after the verb, not the verb phrase. Okay? Yes. There was a yes.
What is the rule you have written at the top of that board? Verb phrase goes to...
Verb phrase followed by prepositional phrase. Okay? And that's the rule that she used just a moment ago to bring these two together. And this actually is the right parse for this sentence. Okay? Are we down with this? As you guys say. Sir.
So to make it work properly, sometimes a noun can be a noun phrase in itself.
Yeah. So here we see illustrated the fact that a noun phrase can have just nothing in it but an N bar, and an N bar too can have, well, just nothing in it but a noun. That usually happens with names. Sir?
Are there any circumstances in which a noun couldn't be a noun phrase on its own?
When a noun couldn't be a noun phrase on its own? I guess. Yeah. I'm not sure I know. Let me say no, just to get past this awkward moment. Yeah. Okay, great, good. So let's do, all we're doing is this. This is all we're going to do today. I mean, you know, you can leave if this is boring, but it won't be. Okay, so let's do another one. Here's the other one, okay. Can you see this, ma'am? Okay. All right, same procedure. Yeah. A singular noun, what? A singular noun can't be an NP. Oh, was that the answer to his question? I gave you the wrong answer a moment ago. All right, can I keep going? Yeah. Yeah, right. Sometimes a noun can't be all by itself in a noun phrase. And that time is when we have a so-called common noun, like idiot, for instance, to just think of one here, or liar, or overpaid wank. A single common noun can't stand alone inside a noun phrase. So, for instance, I can't say idiot made a mistake. I have to say the idiot or that idiot. That's the kind of thing you're asking about? Yeah. Okay, good. So what part of speech does she belong to?
Can you say the sentence out loud?
Yes, I can. Yeah. She smashed the elf on the table. Oh, you can't see anything, can you? Yeah. I'm so sorry. What part of speech is she? Smashed? So good. The? Determiner? Okay. Elf? So now, on? The? Yeah, now you know. Table? Noun. Okay. What's the next thing I can do instantly? Every noun is an N-bar. Okay. Yes?
Do you have have to write the N, or can it just be the N bar?
You have to write the N. Yeah, you have to.
Is there
Yeah.
any instance in which
The rest of you can do whatever you want, but you have to write the N. Yeah, no, please write the N. Yeah. Okay? All right? So this is another sentence that's made up of a noun phrase followed by a verb phrase. What's the noun phrase? She. Okay. Everything else is the verb phrase. All right, so let's work this out. So how shall we wrangle all these guys together into a verb phrase? What would you like to do first? The N bar and the D? Okay. Actually, I have two N bars and two Ds. Okay, which one? Oh, okay. So this could be a noun phrase. Yeah, a determiner is only found in noun phrases, and it's always followed by an N bar. So if you see a determiner and an N bar lined up like that, chances are you've got a noun phrase being made out of the two of them. Okay, good. What next?
Kyle, I have a question.
Sure.
When we're doing this, is there a best way to do it where you should do like one side first before moving on?
I've taught this class for about 45 years. And every year I'm asked this question. And for the first 30 years, I would say, yeah, there is a best way. You start from the right edge and work your way left. And then I would find that a third of the class failed. And then I got terrible teaching evaluations, things like best way. Totally screwed me up. All right. And so then the next 10 years I said, no, start with the verb and move left. Or right. I don't know, And every year I would think, oh, this one seems better than the others. And every year I'd screw people up. So here's the answer to the question. There is a worst way, but there's no best way. Yeah. Here's what I do. I look at neighboring things and kind of work my way up for a while until I get stuck. And then I curse and I have a stiff drink. And then I start working my way from the top down. That's what I do. Okay? I think the only secret there is the drink. But I'm not sure. All right, what should we do next? Ma'am. Yeah, so P followed by NP, that's a prepositional phrase. So we can do that. Okay, so now what we have is a verb followed by a noun phrase followed by a prepositional phrase. What should I do now? Yes?
The verb and the noun phrase together.
Yeah, these two can make a verb phrase. As I said, a noun phrase that follows a verb, the only way it fits in there is by joining with that verb to make a verb phrase. So we could do that. And now I need to fit these two together. How do I do that? A verb phrase and a prepositional phrase can go together to make a verb phrase, so I could do that. Okay? Are we okay with this? Great, that's terrific. And now, let's do it again. See what we did here? We said that these words fit together so that this noun phrase followed the verb to make a verb phrase, and that verb phrase fit with this PP to make another verb phrase. But actually, it's possible to put these guys together in a different way. Can you see that different way? Where can prepositional phrases go? Well, they can be to the right of a verb phrase and together with that verb phrase make a larger one. That's just what we did. But they can also, can you see this rule? They can also be to the left of an N bar and join with that N bar to make a bigger N bar. Holy Manola. Here's an N bar. And now these two can join together. And now these two can join together. Do you see these two different parses? You don't, of course. But for the rest of you who are going to pass this part of the course, do you see it? There's actually two different meanings here, too. Okay? One meaning is something like this. The room is lousy with elves. Okay? And what she did... Clint, could you step up here for a moment? Yeah. This is a nervous moment for Clint. Clint, could you face the... Clint is today an elf. We know him as Clinton, the elf. A well-known elvish name. All right? So we have now a situation where, and I've undergone a sex change. It's not yet visible, but believe me, I can feel it. And I am going to smash an elf. And what this sentence is saying is that the elf I'm going to smash is the one on the table. Okay? It's the elf on the table that's getting smashed. Do you see this? Thank you, Clint, but please don't move. By contrast, this sentence says, she smashed the elf. Okay? And this says, where the elf got smashed. Not which elf, but where. All right? So, same situation. These sex changes last a while, so I am still a she. Right? I take the elf. You're heavier than you look. Yeah. And the table is... Oh, by the way, I've been asked to treat the TAs a little less violently. And after today's lecture, I really will try. But sadly, I could say kiss, but yeah, you'd rather be smashed. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, is it clear, these two different parses? Two different meanings. You can hear them, right? Okay. So in the homework assignment, when I ask you about this one sentence, what are the different ways of putting it together, I also ask you, well, which meaning goes with those different ways? And the rule is something like this. So, in this case, what we're seeing is that on the table is telling you where something happens. And what it's telling you where happens, in this case, is this. It smashed the elf that's located on the table. Clinton wasn't on the table when I picked him up. Rather, the blood mark resulting from the smash is what ends up on the table. Is it clear? Whereas by contrast, in this example, this is joining with elf. And so it's saying where the elf that's being smashed is. It's the elf on the table that gets smashed. So, okay, so the rule is sort of like this. If a prepositional phrase can be in one of two different spots, where it tells you something is depends on what it's joining with. It's telling you where the elf is here. It was telling you where the smash the elf situation was in the other sentence. Are we? Okay, good. Well, believe it or not, this is a simple example of this sort of thing. Here's a slightly more complicated one. The sentence is now, she smashed the elf on the table with a hat. With what part of speech? It's a preposition, yeah. What part of speech? Yeah. Hat is a noun, and so it's also an N-bar. I need to make some room. This string of words has more than one way of being packaged. In fact, it has the two ways that we've just seen, but it actually has in total 5 different ways. There are 5 different meanings hidden in this sentence. Can we find them? Let me show you one way of putting this together, and you tell me what it means. Okay? Ugh. Okay. On the table is a prepositional phrase. With a hat is a prepositional phrase. And I'm going to make this verb phrase have this noun phrase in it, this prepositional phrase in it, and that one too. Every year I write the Blackboard people, and I tell them, we don't need this. We need, and I never get it. What does this mean? What's getting smashed? This elf right here. Not the elf on the table. Where is Clinton being smashed?
Again?
So a moment, we're going to soften this.
It talks?
It talks, yeah. It even sings. Listen. Oh, it used to.
Well, sir, someday I'd like to be a dentist.
Instead of a linguist. Yes.
Yeah, instead of a linguist. Okay. Yeah. So this is the meaning where elf, not on the table, but is getting smashed on the table. Your hair is not as long as I'm used to. Okay. And with a hat is I'm using the hat.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right, okay.
I can do it.
Just 2. I think 2 is enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay? Are we okay with that? Yes. Says the sadist. Yes, we are. Okay, so that's one way of putting these together. And you see, on the table is telling us where the smash the elf happens, and it's also telling us what it was with. A hat, I guess. Okay. Okay. Let me show you another picture. So I'm going to put these two together now. So this prepositional phrase, I'm going to put inside the noun phrase that has elf. Sir?
In regards to the homework, are we supposed to find as many different ways as we can in each sentence like you're doing now?
Yeah. Yeah, you should find... So question 1, there should only be one way for each of those sentences. Question 2, there should be 5 ways. Okay? Okay, so what I have here is elf on the table. And notice, this is an N-bar, and that's a prepositional phrase. And these two can go together. And when they do, they make an N-bar. So I'll do that this time. And this N-bar's got everything in it. So I'll put it together with this determiner to make a noun phrase. And this verb will combine with that noun phrase to make a verb phrase. Okay? Can you see that? Okay, well, never mind. Do you see what I've done?
Yes.
Okay. What does this mean? Sir?
Put the hat on the table.
Okay. Hat.
Put the hat on the elf that is on the table. Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Now smash it.
Okay. So, yeah. So this means, what am I smashing? Well, I'm smashing the elf that's on the table. You're safe this time, yeah. So see, he smiles. Yeah. The elf that's on the table. Anissa, could you please come here? Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go up on the table. Yeah, here we go. Ready? Yeah. Shall I pick you up? Okay, here we go. Okay, good. All right. So here we are. It's one cozy elf family. Yeah. Elves. I am going to smash the elf that's on the table. The elf that's on the table with a hat. Notice the smashing took place somewhere else. You got that? Yeah. 2 down, 3 to go. So, what are the other ways of doing this? I've showed you 2. What are the other 3 ways? So, in this one, both prepositional phrases are inside the noun phrase that follows smash. And in the one I showed you before this, both prepositional phrases followed that noun phrase. So what's another way of combining these up? Sir, with the red hair and beard. Yes, you are indeed the only person in this room with both red hair and beard. Your beard is also red. Okay, I'll make these separate. Okay, I'll make these separate prepositional phrases, and then I'm sorry, I stopped paying attention to you. Could you say it again?
I'm not really actually sure what I want to do next, but somehow involve the elf with.
Okay, I'll put these 2 together, like I did a moment ago. So what we have is elf on the table. Is that what you want me to do?
I'm trying to look for find a way to make that elf that is on a table that has a hat.
A table has a hat. Oh. Oh. So what we want to do here is have with a hat describe the table.
So the table and with the hat all go.
Yeah, so these 2 could go together. Do you see that? And then the will combine with that to make a noun phrase, and it's that noun phrase that comes with this preposition with. Great. Okay, and now what else should I do? So these 2 still have to be made into a noun phrase. Okay, so one thing I could do is take this verb, I think this is the only thing I can do at this point, and put it with this noun phrase. So it's the elf that's getting smashed. And then this verb phrase is combining with this honker of a prepositional phrase that you made me make. Okay? So what does this mean? What does it mean? Well, I smashed the elf. Where did I smash the elf? On the table with the hat.
That's gonna be.
Notice Elf is not on table. Elf is hatless, otherwise the grip would be very slippery for me. However, Elf's demise involves hat. Yeah. Okay, here we go. You ready? Yeah, here we go. Oh! Oh, we got to get sound effects.
Yeah, okay.
Oh! Oh! Good. Okay. Are we okay with this? Do you want... we haven't had any screaming at all. Would you like screaming too? Yes. We have now had screaming. Thank you, ma'am. All right, that's 3. We have 2 left. The other 2 just put together the things we've been looking at in ways like we've put them together, but in different combinations. So tell me. Okay, so here's what we have so far. We have an elf is getting smashed on a table, and that smashing is with a hat. That's one. And we also have, we're smashing an elf. We're not saying where or with what, but we're telling you that the elf that's getting smashed is on the table with a hat. It's the elf on the table with a hat that's getting smashed. That's 2. And the third was this last one we just did. What we're saying there is that the elf is getting smashed. And we're saying that where that's happening is on what? The table with a hat. 2 more. Sir?
You getting on the table and putting the hat on and then smashing it out.
Okay. I'd hope to lose a little more weight before. Okay, so. Oh. Yeah. Sure. Now what do I do?
You have the hat on, so smash the out.
Okay, I won't smash. I'll smash. Oh, but you don't have a hat, so I.
So you have that.
Okay, so she smashed the table. No, she smashed the elf. The elf isn't on the table, right? I'm on the table.
Yeah, you're on the table.
Okay. Okay, so I'll smash the non-tabled elf. And I'm just smashing him, right? I'm on the table, right? Does it matter where I smash him?
No.
I think it does, actually. I think he still has to end up a smear on the table. So get rid of the hat for a moment, just to be clear about this. So if I say she smashed the elf on the table, can I do that if I'm on the table and I'm smashing Clint over there? I mean, imagine that in addition to the sex change, I had extra long arms attached. Okay.
I was thinking like you smashed the elf and then where were you? You were on the table.
Yeah.
With the hat.
So I think that's possible. I think that she, that is me today, she can be on the table. But I think when I'm on the table, I got to be doing the smashing on the table too. It's like a party on the table. I think.
Well, I don't really know what smash is, because I mean, I think...
Oh, you don't know what smash means? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. You certainly, I could teach that too.
I know what smash means, but you can smash someone without actually putting them on another surface. You can just smash.
Yeah, that's true. Yes, in fact. In fact, I mean, I guess we could say that when I do this, I mean, it's a little silly with such a soft hat, but when I do this, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Oh, there was
some thumb in there. Yeah, it's okay. Just rewind. I think you could call that thing a smashing. But I think in I smashed or she smashed the elf on the table, I think it can't mean that she's on the table smashing somewhere else. I think. So that, me being on the table and the smashing being on the table, I think that's going to correspond to a parse where on the table modifies smash the elf. So one of the ones we saw. Now, there's a lot of hands here, and I wasn't keeping track of their order. Sir?
So can to smash be intransitive verb? Like, can you smash on the table just by yourself?
I think so. Can you say she smashed? Does that sound okay to you? I'm not sure. Like this. Could you say that she smashed? Yeah, so this question about can a verb be transitive or not, it's something that varies a little bit as according to speaker, I think. So, yeah, so there's a... but yeah, ma'am. Yes?
Can you smash the elf on the table using a hat?
I can, yeah. You want to see me do that? I did that with him a moment ago, Clinton Elvis. Oh, I see. Can the elf be on the table and hatless? And me smashing? Yes, we can do that. And that is a meaning, I think, that corresponds to one of the parsers. Let me do that. So we're going to smash the elf on the table. Okay? So on the table modifies elf. It's saying where the elf is. So these two should go together. Okay? All right? So I'm going to smash the elf on the table. Okay? And here. Could you hold? And this verb phrase is going to combine with a hat. So with a hat here is telling you what the smashing used. Right? So what do we have? She smashed the elf on the table. I'm ignoring the one with the hat because with a hat is telling you how I'm smashing. No thumb, you'll notice. Good, eh? Yeah, some skill here. Yeah. So do you get that reading? Okay, 4. We have one left. So let's review, shall we? We had smashed the elf where? On the table with a hat. We had smashed the elf on the table with a hat. So smashed that elf right there, the elf with on the table with a hat. We had smashed the elf on the table that's with a hat. Smashed the elf on the table with a hat. So far we're okay? So smashed the elf where? On the table with what? The hat. Smashed what? The elf on the table. Which elf on the table? The one with the hat. The elf on the table with a hat. And third, we smashed the elf where? On the table. Which table? The one with the hat. 3. And now 4. We smashed what? The elf on the table with the hat. 4. Yeah.
I think I know the last one.
Okay.
Put the hat on the table.
All right.
And smash that off there.
Okay, so you want me to smash the elf. Clint, could you do me a favor? No. Meg, could you do me a favor? Yeah. Okay, Meg. I want you to sit on this table right here. Let's test this. I'm pretty sure Clint would break this. Yeah. Okay, good. Okay? So you want the sentence to say, she smashed something. What'd she smash? She smashed the elf. Which elf? The elf on the table. The table with the hat. She smashed the elf that's on the table with the hat. That's different than she smashed the elf. Where? The smashing was on the table with the hat. This is, she smashed what? the elf that's on the table with the hat.
Isn't that the same as the one where you drew the elf behind you? Because that elf had a hat and he was on the table. Oh, never mind. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Do you have those clear in your head? Okay. So, sir.
Could you be smashing an elf with a hat? Like you physically using a hat while you're on the
Yeah. So this was sort of your question. And, well, let's start talking about that next time. So there's two things I want you to do before next class. What is today? Is this Wednesday? So before Friday, I want you to figure out what is the parse for this last sentence. I smashed the elf that's on the table with a hat. What's that parse? Bring that to class.